First of all, I want to wish the Algerian soccer team the very best of luck as they take Rwanda today. My colleagues tell me that today, June 16th, is the 31st anniversary of the best day in the history of Algerian soccer, the victory over Germany 2-1 in the World Cup in Spain in 1982. And although I've been to Rwanda and know President Kagame well, today I am for Algeria. I began this particular trip in Libya, went to Egypt, on to Tunisia, to Morocco, and then to Algeria. I will leave here to join the President of the United States at the G8 meeting in Ireland. I have had excellent meetings here, including with the Prime Minister, the Foreign Minister, members of the Foreign Ministry to follow up on our strategic dialogue with civil society, with entrepreneurs, and with business. We have discussed a wide range of issues, including our strong bilateral relationship that works cooperatively and in partnership on issues of security, economic and social development, democratic reform, and governance. We also talked about the work that we can do together and the leadership that Algeria provides to ensuring progress in a very difficult regional environment. And we discussed international issues of concern to everyone in the international community and our shared values to try to reach peace and stability and progress throughout the world. I met with young people yesterday, young entrepreneurs, and it is quite clear that Algeria has a bright and promising today and an even better future. And finally, I felt very welcomed here in Algeria, and I particularly want to thank Ambassador Ensher and the team here at our embassy who every day work to strengthen the cooperation, partnership, and deep regard Algeria and the United States have with and for each other. I'd be glad to take your questions.
You said that you met Algerian officials. Did you raise with them the future elections, particularly the presidential elections, knowing that His Excellency Ambassador Escher thought that the United States is ready to work with any government or institution that is democratically elected?
Well, I think Ambassador Ensher has said it exactly right. The decisions for the future leadership of Algeria is for the Algerian people. This is not a decision for the United States, and we support the democratic process here in Algeria, one that is deepening and growing and continuing to develop, and will support any democratically elected leader.
Bonjour, Hassan Netamara du quotidien Courrier d'Algérie. Madame l'ambassadeur, vous avez déclaré tout à l'heure que vous avez rencontré une délégation des entrepreneurs algériens, sachant bien que le forum...
Mr. Amar from the Courrier d'Algérie, you just said that yesterday you met young entrepreneurs. You said that Algeria has a bright future. Now we know that by the end of this year there's the strategic global forum, dialogue that is going to take place here in Algiers. Do you think that there is, as you said, there is a better future for Algeria? Do you think that there will be U.S. companies that will be investing here in Algeria?
Thank you very much. I think that Algeria has a good today and an even brighter future. I think that there's no doubt that American companies will invest in Algeria. They already are. I would expect that more will come. I think that Algeria is working very hard to ensure that there aren't obstacles to investment. that there are best practices here to encourage foreign investment, and that America sees this as a terrific market to look toward, and we hope to be a very serious player here.
Bonjour tout le monde. Zahir Mahdawi du quotidien d'Oran.
The gentleman is from the Quotidien d'Oran, from Oran, another city. You know that Libya now is has been in a civil war, and you know Algeria said was cautious and asked the other countries to avoid the war in Libya. And you know what happened now in Turin, because there was been in the south of Algeria an attack for a gas plant. So he's pointing out that the weapons and the terrorists came from Libya. So his conclusion is that he's asking a question: has the United States been misled? They didn't get the right information or misled? Or is it, do you consider that as a strategic error by engaging in the war in Libya?
The international community responded to the desires of the Libyan people themselves. It is not for the United States or for any other country to make decisions for the people of any country. But in the instance of Libya, where the people of Libya put down their lives for change, they asked for the support of the international community. The Arab League, the African Union asked for support of the international community, and the international community brought that support. We well understand that there were many different opinions about the best way forward, but in the end, the Libyan people made their desires known and were willing to risk their lives and lose their lives for that change, and people in Algeria certainly understand that process. It is true that now we have a change that is taking place in Libya. It is very difficult because for many years Gaddafi ruled Libya without any infrastructure, without any government to speak of. And now Prime Minister Zidane and the government of Libya has to create a future for its people. The other thing I would say on Libya is we are where we are. And so we must all support the Libyan government as they try to move forward to the destiny the Libyan people have asked for themselves. I had much discussion with officials here in Algeria. Algeria can provide essential help to the Libyans. Algeria's a leader in the region, incredibly capable. And I think if we all work together, we can help the Libyans succeed.
Deuxième question, si vous le permettez. Donc, on sait très bien que les États-Unis.
Right. The second question. I know that the United States and Algeria have close ties as far as cooperation in counterterrorism is concerned. So this cooperation, is it done in the field of intelligence or military? And his question: has the United States provided equipment? Military equipment, obviously, to assist Algeria.
We cooperate with Algeria in every way possible because we share the same objective of fighting terrorists and making sure that Algeria and the entire region is secure. We use every appropriate tool, and we will continue to increase and deepen our cooperation in all ways appropriate to that relationship.
Hello, good morning, Mrs. Sherman. فتحي لمحنة بعد 40 سنة يعني من النزاع في الصحراء الغربية نعيش اليوم
But he's saying that after 4 years, he's talking about the Western Sahara case. After 4 years, 40 years, starting from 1973 up to this year, 2013, the conflict is still there. What's the U.S. view concerning this conflict? And the second question, after the new election of the new president in Iran, what's your view of the future relationship between the United States and Iran?
The U.S. position on the Western Sahara has been consistent for some time. We are neutral regarding the outcome. We have encouraged all parties to work with the United Nations Secretary General and with his personal envoy, Ambassador Chris Ross, to find a solution that is agreeable, acceptable, credible, and durable for all parties. On Iran's election yesterday, the United States has issued a statement, obviously welcoming the election. We had concerns and still have concerns about whether this met international standards as an election, because in fact the initial candidates were screened by an unelected body. So many people who wanted to run were not allowed to run. But nonetheless, the Iranian people have clearly spoken in this election and elected Mr. Rouhani to be their next president. The United States hopes that Iran will use this as an opportunity to negotiate constructively and seriously with the international community. And the United States always stands ready to discuss the concerns of the international community about Iran's nuclear program directly with Iran as well.
Madam Secretary, I have two questions. The first one is there any possible candidate or scenario of the next Algerian presidential that may compromise the U.S. interest in Algeria? The second one is mostly directed to the ambassador about the number of visa given last year, and if there is any raise or augmentation of the number of this year. And thank you.
On the first question, I will repeat what I said before, which is that the decision for any leadership here in Algeria is up to the Algerian people, and as long as that is through a democratic process, the United States will support the choice that the Algerian people make themselves.
On the second one, let me not guess. I'll take the question and we'll get you an answer, okay?
Madame, I want to make sure that we allow a woman to ask a question, please.
Well, you said that you went you made a long trip. You went to Libya, to Morocco, to Tunisia, to Egypt, and for example, in Morocco, where you know that there is the Islamists that have got the power, the government. Now, concerning, and now you're arriving to Algeria, do you think consider here for we're heading to more stability or not?
I think this is a time of great transition in the world. Many people desire freedom, democracy. They want to be able to get a good job, ensure their children have a good education, and a bright future. And change is always inherently difficult, but important. Algerians understand this process very well. And so we will hope that with the help of Algeria, with the help of others in the region and in the world, that Tunisia, Libya, Egypt, Syria, and other countries that wish for freedom and a brighter future for their people will be able to achieve it. We must all do whatever we can to help.
ملكة صوت التلفزيون الجزائري السيدة شيرمان تحدثت مع الوزير الأول مع الوزير الخارجية.
Right, you said that you had a meeting with the Prime Minister and the Foreign Affairs Ministry and you talked about counterterrorism. What are the other topics that you dealt with? And did you raise the issue of Mali?
We did, in these meetings, discuss Mali, of course, and discussed all the countries in the region, quite frankly. We also discussed the conflict in Syria. We discussed Middle East peace. We discussed economics and economic development. We discussed governance and democratic reform here, throughout the region and in the world. We discussed ensuring that we can get Iran to answer the concerns of the international community about their nuclear program. We discussed a very wide range of issues.
Bonjour, Tarek Hafid, journaliste sur l'Algérie. Donc, toujours dans le
you
cadre des
talked,
rencontres
you met
que vous avez eues
Algerian
avec le
officials.
responsable algérien,
Have you
est-ce que la maladie du président
tackled
a
or
été
dealt
abordée,
with the
son
issue of the
absence, et
disease
est-ce que
of
vous avez
our
aussi abordé les
president, the
conséquences que
president of
pourrait
Algeria,
produire donc, cette
talked about
absence si
his
elle dure dans le temps?
absence and the fallout,
Voilà
the
pour ma
impacts of
première
this
question. Deuxième question, quelle est selon l'administration
absence if it
américaine,
comes
est-ce que vous avez fait
be
un peu le profil
longer?
du futur
And the second question,
président
have
algérien?
you discussed between yourself, I suppose, about the profile of the new or the incoming president, the next president?
I, of course, wished the president a speedy recovery and want to do so here. President Bouteflika is well known to the United States, and we are glad that he is doing better and wish for his return to Algeria as soon as that is possible. We noted that Algeria continues to move forward on all fronts and that there is continuity. And again, regarding the future leadership of Algeria, this is not a decision for the United States. This is a decision for Algerians. And as long as it is a result of a democratic process, the United States will support the leadership choice of the Algerian people.
Hussein Abdiel, journaliste du Journal indépendant. Madame, vous avez parlé tout à l'heure, vous avez dit qualifier l'Algérie de leadership, un pays de leadership en Afrique. Pourquoi depuis longtemps aucun président américain n'est venu en Algérie, particulièrement M. Obama?
Thank you for your questions.
Merci pour votre question.
I think that presidential scheduling, as we say in English, is above my pay grade. No official takes on the responsibility of presidential scheduling. It is very too difficult. I know that President Obama would like to come to every country in the world, including Algeria, and schedules sometimes make that very difficult. Secretary Clinton visited Algeria and twice, and Secretary Kerry just met with both your Prime Minister and Foreign Minister at the African Union Summit. And I am here today. And the Deputy Secretary of State, Bill Burns, has been here as well. In terms of democratic reforms, we believe, as I believe Algeria believes, that progress has been made, but more progress is yet to come. We discussed in some of my meetings the constitutional reforms that have been laid out and the further work that is necessary to fully implement them and to reach the aspirations that Algeria has. And finally, as much as I would love to stay here and take more of your questions, I have to catch an airplane.